To track steps using the pedometer sensor in Thunkable, you use the built-in sensor blocks inside the Blocks tab. Unlike traditional app builders where sensors are added from a design palette, Thunkable handles sensors like the pedometer directly through block-based logic, meaning everything is triggered through events and sensor blocks rather than being placed as visible components. Start by opening your Thunkable project and going to the Blocks tab. Select the screen where you want to track step count activity. This is important because pedometer tracking usually begins when a screen is opened or when the user activates tracking. Next, create a when screen opens block. This will allow your app to begin step tracking automatically when the user enters the screen. Inside this block, locate the pedometer-related blocks such as Start Tracking Steps or Begin Pedometer, depending on the available block set in your version of Thunkable. Once activated, the pedometer sensor begins monitoring the device's motion using built-in motion and accelerometer data. It detects walking patterns and converts them into step counts. This allows the app to track physical movement in real time without requiring manual input from the user. To display step data, you can add a label component in the Design tab. Then return to the Blocks editor and use the pedometer's step count changed event block. This event triggers every time the number of steps updates. Inside this block, set the label text to the current step count value so the user can see their steps increasing live. If needed, you can also store step data in variables. For example, create a variable called total steps and update it every time the step count changes. This allows you to track cumulative steps over time or reset values when needed. Some implementations also allow you to reset the step counter. You can use a reset pedometer block if available, which clears the current step count and starts fresh tracking. This is useful for daily step tracking or fitness goals. Before testing, make sure motion permissions are enabled on the device. The pedometer relies on motion sensors, so users must grant permission when prompted. Without permission, step tracking will not function correctly. For best accuracy, test the pedometer on a real mobile device. Web previews or emulators will not provide reliable step data because they do not have access to physical motion sensors. Once everything is set up, the app will continuously track the user's steps and update the count in real time whenever movement is detected. And that's how you track steps using the pedometer sensor in Thunkable. Use the pedometer blocks in the Blocks tab. Start tracking on screen load, handle step count updates, and display or store the data for fitness or activity-based applications.